Good morning, everyone. Welcome. How is everyone doing? Welcome to another live stream. So, as you guys know, it's Saturday. Saturday is weekly analysis. How was your week? The dollar continues not to break the lows and continues not to move upward, right? We are in a weird situation. Hi, Jack. How are you, man? The dollar, right? Everyone is waiting for the Fed, apparently. As you can see in here, dollar index, anytime it looks like it's about to break to the upside, and it just doesn't. Just continues to hold for some reason. Yep, actually we may start actually having this kind of trend line in here. So yeah, so of course our eyes are going to be on FOMC next Wednesday, 1st of February. We are almost finishing the first month of the year. It's been quick. Markets have been in a rally, everything except the dollar. The indices, S&P, not S&P, NASDAQ, it followed through and it finally broke the high. Right? We have talked about this level for quite a while. In here, right? It's holding. I mentioned that I had seen this, that I was looking at this high in here as a engulf to the upside in the moment when it occurred. And of course, especially that was the first sign, but especially after we respected the origin of the move, which was this demand that I had an eye on for a long time. Yeah, after respecting the origin and starts moving away from here again, yes, the target will be definitely this size, and there was a high probability that it would actually follow through and continue and break to the upside, right? So interesting, and it's done. Kind of question mark is now where is the next target and what can happen from here on the NASDAQ. But you're going to the NASDAQ in a bit. Yeah, let's take a look first at good week. I made some good trades and some awful ones, but a lot of learning. Yeah, that's the progress, right? I did open kind of 1 or 2 bad trades as well, to be honest. I finished basically at break even the week. Nothing much. I missed good trades. Yeah, you were there, especially that short on the Aussie. Yesterday I didn't really pay too much attention, even though I saw that price reacted from good levels. I did manage to capitalize on them. But yeah, I will still keep an eye on at the highs on the Aussie if the Aussie wants to get there. But yeah, again, so let's take a look and let's start with the dollar. So what we do usually during this live stream, we take a look at major FX pairs, we go through the indices, and then we go to the individual. And basically we start with the indices of the FX indices, dollar, euro, and the yen index. In this S&P, NASDAQ, we take a look at the Dow as well, and then we go to the individual FX pairs. That's usually what I trade more. And then gold as well, something that we follow. If you have any other specific pair asset that you would like us to talk about, feel free to share it. And then of course we still keep an eye on the Bitcoin and Ethereum if there's something new to look at in there. And the main point is for you guys and myself, I'll be sharing what I can see of levels to look at for next week, my predictions, and yeah, if you do have any key level, any zone that you think price may react from or can offer a good opportunity, we can go into it, can discuss it, and we can analyze it together. So yes, dollar. If you guys remember my previous analysis from last week, it's basically nothing has changed, literally. The only thing that changed is that actually we created just a slightly lower low from these lows in here. but we haven't still broken this wall in here on the left side. Therefore, it kind of stays out the same. Again, I mentioned that personally I think I could see this wall being taken, maybe price getting a little bit closer to this level in here. I think there's a little bit of space in there to be filled, and maybe that's one of the reasons why dollar hasn't really kind of exploded to the upside at this point. It's kind of tried to go up. Basically, the pattern this week, it was basically in the morning dollar strength, dollar to go higher, Euro pound and so on to go down, and then in the afternoon or after the US Open kind of reversed occurred, and then dollar start to go down and the rest to go up. And it was a little bit kind of this pattern that we have during this week. And when you have movements like this, right? So this dollar index actually has been a little bit worst, but actually in the other ones there have been good movements. And in here as well, if you're going to do 1 hour, 30 minutes time frame, you may see good movements. And when we are in this kind of compression, as you can see in this on my chart, there's going to be opportunities to go either long or short, depending. Like this is maybe what traders like to call it kind of volatility. Price going up, price going down, price going up, going down, and you have those opportunities. Price was going up in a strong way, then kind of reversed, and then got down in a strong way, and then kind of reversed, and there were those kind of opportunities. Now, what we didn't have yet is the momentum, right, to finally break 1 or 2 levels and really explode into one direction. Not yet, we haven't had that. Maybe you're waiting for the Fed before we do that. Yeah, maybe that's going to be the scenario, and after that maybe we can start a new cycle in here. So yes, let's see if that's when it's going to happen. So one more point that I wanted to make in terms of that compression, right? So yes, when we have this kind of compression, especially we're going to look at it on the Euro, Aussie, and so on as well. It's basically when the open, something like that, price goes down, and in the afternoon it starts to go higher, and there's a tendency to maybe look for maybe a double top setup in here, right? But be careful with that one, because there's a high chance as well that price maybe just take it a little bit, and then maybe again the next day go down again, and then kind of continues to go higher. What we had throughout most of this week, it was actually the lows were being respected, kind of every single demand was being respected. However, the highs, it was slightly being broken to the upside. So there's maybe good opportunities to sell the first time that a high has been created around in the morning, but in the afternoon when price kind of retraces, there's a high probability. It depends as well on the approach and actually if you did respect the or not. But there's a little bit of high probability that we're going to actually take out the high throughout the evening, night, and then the day after, there you go again, same thing, repeating themselves until you finally managed to break a low, which occurred on Thursday, and now finally the highs were being respected, and you break a little bit now a new low, but we just respected now a new level in there at the moment. So this is basically what we had this week. So be careful when you are trying to sell that second double top, especially if overall price is actually still in this in the bullish momentum. On the dollar index, it will be the opposite, right? Kind of maybe trying to buy the bottom, and you have a little bit of a fake out, and then price goes up, and then again another fake out, another break of a low, and then price goes up again. So it's kind of this what I'm mentioning in here, and it's good to catch it kind of the first time that it's happening. There's maybe some confirmation here that you can already catch this move upwards, but on the retrace, maybe be careful with that. Yeah, until we finally, let's see when finally going to have the turn. So yeah, dollar. Let's do it this. Hey Faden, welcome in. Okay, Jack is saying that I made a breakthrough though. I went through my journal and I realized every single loss was when I deviated from my plan. I thought I knew better. Yep, that's the power of journaling, right? And that's actually the topic that we're going to talk next Monday. Trading journal. Let's take a look at your past trades. yeah, a slap on the face, right? That's a reality check. There's no hiding in there. Yeah. Now, sometimes it may be easier that, yeah, I have a loss and I can kind of mention, okay, and the loss was, and you kind of allocate every loss to saying that it's not part of your plan. Sometimes you have a loss and it's still part of your plan. But yes, trying to find the patterns that you can identify on those losing setups and try to fix them, try to improve them. And of course, try not to make the same mistakes, overcorrect them. So yeah. I'm looking forward for that session. Good job. So yeah, so dollar. Let's continue. Dollar, it's still all the same. Yeah, just adjusting the audio. So yeah, dollar is all the same still. The potential of faking out the low first or afterwards. So again, the key levels that I'm still pointing out and looking at is definitely this zone in here, which is literally still fresh, because that week the high never really got there. And of course, if you do break below this well, right? I mentioned that the potential of seeing something like this occurring, and maybe something interesting now is actually since we have this trend line in here, yeah, maybe after the break of trend line, many people are going to be looking for this, and this is a potential, this is a possibility, to be honest, breaking the trend line and now continue to go higher. We did manage to break this low in here, so maybe that's enough. We'll see. Personally, again, I'm still looking for maybe the low on the left side to be broken before we have the final turn, whenever that may happen. The euro is still respecting the higher high, so that's still kind of the level on the euro is still fresh as well. Pound a little bit the same. Aussie, it's the opposite. Aussie finally managed to get to that level that we're talking. Of course, it can still go higher, but it reacted exactly to the level that we talked about, if not last week, last Tuesday, above those double top. So yeah, still the scenario of going down here, maybe reacting from this level a little bit, from the supply in there, kind of retracing. I would like to see actually all this level to be broken to the upside, to then maybe something like this to happen. Let's see if that's going to happen or not. Like maybe retesting now this previous level of structure that you have in here, this previous resistance, when you finally break through and then go there. There's even the potential to maybe even completely go upwards first, maybe respect this level and then go down and then finally do the opposite, and take it, right? So there's still that potential. Not like this. Go down, kind of respect a little bit more, take it, and then go higher, take this one, and good to go. So there's still that potential as well. In here can be a good level to look for shorts also. So let's see which direction dollar actually breaks first. It's not by breaking a little bit. Again, the feeling I think some of the guys as well were having is, as you can see, like dollar is being kind of going upwards in a really strong move, and it looks like it's finally about to break through all these levels, and now it just got rejected again. Yesterday, same thing. It looked like for a moment that finally dollar was gaining some momentum, and it just got rejected once again. And yes, as I mentioned, we do have maybe some kind of this trend line in here. So yeah, let's see. Next Tuesday as well, when I do the next stream, we are going to have already Monday and Tuesday basically, and it's going to be an anticipation for the FOMC. So hopefully by Tuesday night we are going to move away from a little bit these levels, and let's see which clues we are going to get in here on the dollar. So yeah, that's basically for the dollar. So nothing has changed aside from strongest compression. Yeah, a lot of waiting time, right? That's what Faden is saying. So yeah, after that we can go. Yeah, let's go to the indices, which have been in a rally, right? It's quite the opposite. Like while dollar is kind of compressing, it looks like We know the inverse correlation that has been going on between the dollar and the indices during last year, and it looks like let's make it this way. It looks like the dollar, maybe the zone where the dollar is, it may be really close to maybe reverse upwards. So it's spending a lot of time within this level, spending maybe a lot of time kind of around, why are you not changing, around this level in here, kind of close to that level, and it's spending week after week in there, while maybe the indices, the level maybe where it's going to go down again, is still a bit farther away. So indices are kind of moving kind of to catch up with the key level maybe before the turn, and maybe dollar, since it's already kind of in a good level to maybe turn, just spending all this time in here in this compression. So yeah, let's see what's going to happen as well, if the indices are going to reach a certain level before the drop. Of course, we are reacting now or approaching S&P after respecting this demand zone. So this demand, it was a really good level to look for in terms of, yes, it respected it, so it didn't open any doors to go down. So it was respecting here, and after that it just kept respecting. Like we talked about this level of structure as well, there was no break to the downside in here again. So again, expecting new highs to occur. Yeah, there was a little bit of a good reaction from that supply level. Price went down, and then it just continues to go higher. Yeah, is it going to respect from this level? Personally, since we actually respected this one in here, I could see S&P maybe continue to go higher, and I'm looking a little bit higher around to this level, maybe, right? So we had actually maybe the supply level in here, which maybe still fresh. This one has been taken by that. This one now is kind of the next level where price is about to reach to. So yes, but overall there's still the chance to go there. And on the S&P actually, and I mentioned that when we created this high back in August, there's even the chance that this high can still be faked out altogether. Yes, it can maybe respect this level in here. When it gets there, it looks like it's still fresh. None of these highs kind of reach there, but in this case, S&P actually, when it created this high, it faked out this triple top in here, but it never really reached the supply level, kind of the level next to it. Therefore, if by any chance S&P is going to be looking and getting closer to this level, I could see the scenario of maybe respecting for a bit, but maybe even creating that fake out of this high into this fresh level that is still in there, since this high is never really picked up, which is the opposite on the NASDAQ. NASDAQ actually reacted from the supply, so in theory maybe there's no need to break this high in here. And NASDAQ is literally still lagging comparing with the S&P. NASDAQ is kind of still in here, kind of try to approach this level in here. That's kind of where NASDAQ is, if I'm not mistaken. So yes, the indices, it has been the earnings season, some better than others in terms of results. Next week is going to be the big tech as well. I think Apple, Google, and so on. It's going to announce their earnings. So yes, let's see what's going to happen in here on the indices. Personally, from this low that we created in here, again, it was another one that we kind of predicted since the beginning. It was really a strong compression all the way through, and it basically finished the compression with these lows in here, and it reacted from the extreme of the beginning of this compression to the upside. So basically, actually, since we broke this low, yeah, this one and this one that you kind of entered into all this level all the way there, which kind of took all year to get there. And yes, from this low, I think price wants to go and maybe retest somewhere in there. Maybe not stop from here, but actually go a little bit higher and retest a little bit that level. But let's see what's going to happen in there. NASDAQ, as I mentioned just before, we finally broke the high, right? So we talked about it. This high for me all this time it has been, and it looked like an engulf to the upside, and it's exactly, as I mentioned last week, it's exactly the type of engulf that I'm looking for on the dollar and euro and so on, that maybe I haven't seen it yet, which is this. And this is one of the clearest engulfs for me, a little bit similar to this one, which is a scenario where we have a good level of structure holding price down, and price reacts from it once, it kind of reacts from it twice. I'm not even considering this one straight away in the beginning, and all of a sudden, if the intention of price was literally just to continue to move down, like eventually it did, why the hell are you going to, why are you breaking the highs then? Why not just respect the highs and just continue to go down? And if that is exactly your intention, why make this fast spike in here, literally breaking the highs? This for me is the most clear engulf that I can see. On one side, it's one actually clear engulf, and usually what you see after happening, something like this happening, is that price actually is going to have a deep retracement after that. Maybe of course it's collecting the liquidity from all these highs and so on, but usually you have a deep retracement, just like we had in here. Again, kind of, you are respecting all this. Why just make a small break in there and then reverse? This was also kind of an indication that price wanted to go down. And then of course it's just paying attention where the origin was, right? So there you go. And did they even create this high in here? This low, I mean, just kind of to accumulate in there. It's the same thing with this one as well. That small thing in there. Why are you breaking the high if your intention would be to go down? Yeah, by looking at this one and by seeing this level being respected in here, yes, there you go. The trajectory, it will be targeting this high altogether, and they actually looking to move to the upside. Now, price never really got to this level. It was one kind of where S&P reacted to, but NASDAQ never really got in here. Price just continues to continue to go higher after that. So yeah, what's next for the NASDAQ? That's kind of the question mark. And now we may have this level in here that can in the future maybe be used as a possible long in there. We finally broke this, so these lows in here. Therefore, yeah, where is the next level, right? Personally, I don't really see anything standing out to me on the NASDAQ that can hold price down. Maybe going a little bit again close to that 12,670, going higher in there. Not really sure. Wait, and I know that you look at NASDAQ as well. Do you have any key level out to the upside where price may want to go to? Again, as I mentioned, NASDAQ is literally lagging. S&P, S&P had already reacted from here. NASDAQ still has a lot to move until it gets there. This one is the level that maybe it was created in August. That would be a good target in there, maybe for price 10 to continue to downside. So yes, we had this strong break to the upside. Price went down, and then maybe now there's going to be some continuation upwards. Maybe we've been testing this level first. Again, pay attention if you do create some kind of level of structure in here that price can use as a continuation. Yep. So let's see what's going to happen in there. Of course, FOMC is going to help as well, and all the big tech earnings going to have an impact in here for sure. And aside from that, this week actually had GDP. We had unemployment claims, which is getting lower as well. GDP better than I even expected, so it looks good news in the US, and that's maybe another reason why I have this indices going so high. Yeah, overall, again, predicting the reversal, that's kind of what we did, anticipating that actually this one was a reason to look for longs when price would retrace to the downside. Up until this point, the kind of the bottom was done. We even called the bottom in here as well when it occurred. now it's kind of time and see to look for, right? So if this is maybe the space that maybe price wants to go to, of course there are different levels in there that price can work as resistance, can work as resistance, and price can go down and whatnot. But let's see now what's going to happen. Overall, the reversal at this point, it's completed kind of. The high has been taken. Now let's see what's next, what's going to occur in here. Looking at a little bit of previous levels of support resistance as well, that could help. Yeah. On the monthly time frame, what can you see? On the monthly time frame, what's the open of this? 12,296. 12,264. All right, let's see if by any chance this level in here at this monthly open has a little bit of an impact or not, or price will just continue. Yeah, let's see what's going to happen in there. Yeah, for now it's wait and see. Maybe looking for more continuations to the upside. So we have that high. That high has already been taken. Maybe some reaction from here. Of course, there's maybe something in here as well. So yeah, you're looking at 12,480. $12,480. Is that somewhere in here? I have a line in there. Or close to it. Don't even know why. Hi Fantonix. If I saw the Quasimodo in there. In which one? I can see a lot of Quasimodos. Even this one is a Quasimodo in here. That's actually one of the reasons why I liked so much this demand zone. And even if you consider even this left shoulder, right? Left shoulder, go up, fake out, and in there, right? Yeah, on the daily. Yeah. Is it this level? Is this left shoulder? Is this left shoulder? There's so many left shoulders, man. That's the situation in Quasimodos, right? You cannot pick and choose which left shoulder you want to look for, right? You can even use this one. You can use this one. Maybe there's even some level Quasimodo now even on the right side of the fake out. Maybe something in here on the war time frame that left the demand zone. Yes, that Quasimodo, it was especially this one. When you go up, we have the fake out, price goes up, kind of retests, it leaves this demand fresh behind, and this wall never really got there. So yeah, that was definitely something that I was looking for. And you could call it now that this was a Quasimodo as well. From here, the high, the low, the kind of fake out, and it didn't work, right? So again, why it didn't work? Actually just did a full webinar about that. But yes, most likely can even work as a long in the future somewhere in there. Yeah. So yeah, let's see now what's going to happen. Let's take a look at the Dow. What the Dow is doing. Again. So if you remember, yes, I was bullish on the NASDAQ because I had seen that thing go to the upside, and on the Dow Jones I was still kind of a little bit not fully satisfied where those reacted from, and I was kind of still a little bit potentially bearish in the sense that I would like to see price getting closer to this level before maybe breaking these highs. NASDAQ kind of Dow went all the way back there, respected. No, it never broke this low, so there's not exactly an engulf showing indication that it wants to go down, so it might just maybe continue to go higher. Now I'm not really doesn't really tell me anything kind of where this low reacted from. I was looking for price kind of to fill this range in here. It may still happen. maybe we can have still the turn, and actually price may react or respect this high before actually going down. We actually have this again, another kind of Quasimodo in there, in here, and we create now this double top in here, and price could literally maybe go higher, respect that, and continue to go down after that. So that could be a potential on the Dow. We kind of broke a little bit this level, which was good to see, but we haven't really broken that one. But we at least took the demand from here. So maybe in the future, if prices indeed wants to go down again, it may get weaker this level, because we have taken out the demand from the other side. There's maybe a new one in here. So yeah, just keeping an eye on it. Maybe feel maybe a good level in here to see a little bit of a reaction, and then maybe price can just continue to go higher. I need to investigate, maybe, I don't know if there's anything in particular in there to look for. 1 second, because you mentioned Faden before and never looked at it, at 11,440 on the NASDAQ. 11,400. Where is that? Is it this lows? Yeah, could be. This valve in here. Yeah. I don't know if I would like to see it making such a deep retracement right now. I'm still going to keep an eye on this one, to be honest. Kind of respected the nice level in there. It's kind of this level in here, a little bit of a manipulation as well. Price went down. It's kind of a Quasimodo in here, right? That it was not respected, and it can work in the future as a long from somewhere in there. It was a clean supply level that it was literally not respected, or a little bit spiked, but there was not the movement that it should have. So this level in here alone can work quite nicely in the future, somewhere in there. Maybe taking these lows and then just continue to move higher. I don't know if that's in alignment with something else on the left as well. Maybe a little bit this high in there as well. So it can be interesting at around 11,900. Could yeah, maybe many people can look at this 12,000 mark as level of support, and then maybe just be faked out in here. Maybe something like this, and price could just maybe not so deep. Yeah, maybe something like this, and maybe down, and maybe go higher, something in here. We'll see how it's going to be high. Yeah, but that's for the not this one. So yeah, Dow Jones, maybe a little bit of a reaction in here. It's already reacting to the downside. It's moving in compression. So let's actually take a look into here, right? This was during one of the CPIs. It was quite fast. I'm not sure if there's anything in here. Maybe on the lower time frame, if you go there to investigate it, maybe there's something that can be taken advantage of. Yeah, but for now we do have literally this double top. Yeah, let's keep an eye to see how it's going to react from it. Like whatever the moment that we break, as I mentioned quite a few times, whenever we kind of break this level to the upside, if we do it, there's maybe some kind of demand that's going to be created in there. If we do manage to break below that level, not so much. If we manage to kind of break below that level, that's maybe opening the door to go down. So just find that level that's going to eventually break this one. If it does, yeah, that could be enough. So yeah, that's for the indices. Yeah, so this is the dollar, which we still are waiting for it, and the euro index, right? So euro index, it's actually quite similar to the Aussie in a sense, in terms of the level itself, right? So yeah, it did broke some walls on the way up. Thank you, Fandax. It's the first time that we are watching the stream. Anyone that starts with a PHA, usually it's a master in analyzing the market, so I don't know, I'm attracting those this kind of people, traders towards me, which is good. Okay, Fenton. Yeah, so what I wanted to say about the Aussie is that we had such a higher kind of higher time frame highs in there, and we just a fresh supply just above it, and you can see how powerful those levels are, right? So we had mentioned a few times, yeah, this was kind of one of the important supplies. After that, yes, price could react a little bit from here, but this is a little bit this was kind of creating this compression, right? From that level towards this level, eventually if you do break now above this level, price most likely is going to fill the space to go all the way until the highs, and more often most likely even break the highs. Now initially I was looking for price to go all the way until that level, because that level was basically the next level of support resistance in a bigger picture. But after, and this is important to do, just go a little bit, dive into it, just above the highs that you are looking for to be faked out, and maybe you can find something in there that actually can work and hold price to the downside. And we found that that supply a couple of weeks ago, or something like that, and that's exactly where the euro index has been reacting, and we can see a little bit of the move to the downside on the euro in alignment with this level as well. Basically, when the high on the euro was created, it was around the same time as this one, or it was maybe in here. So we had that reaction again, key level in here, maybe respecting the demand zone, as I mentioned, kind of, okay, if you do break below this, maybe it starts opening spice. It reacted a little bit, and then price went all the way through, and it didn't manage to break the high neither. So we start having this level. Now there was another small demand zone in there that was important at this point, which was this one, right? So this is kind of what we want to look for, this vast demand zone after the strong push to the upside. One of two things kind of it would happen in here, right? Either price kind of respected and managed to break it. If you do break now below this level once again, most likely you're going to test at least this lows once again, and there's maybe the chance of finally start breaking this level. So we did that, we broke them, respected one more time the level, and we fall through, and reacting from a good level on the left side after just faking out important highs on the left. And after that, yes, by knowing all this, there's too many hotkeys. Yep, and it goes a little bit in alignment with what the euro is doing, and you can continue most likely to move a little bit further down. Again, it doesn't mean that it's going to be just related to the euro dollar, can be also the euro pound, the euro Aussie, and so on. We have seen kind of the euro, those other assets as well, kind of moving to the downside. So let's see if we finally manage to hold and to follow through in there. There's maybe still something in here that price can respect, but yes, next target I would be looking for these lows with the potential to even continue to go down if you finally have that momentum being created on the euro dollar. So even the euro index is kind of getting a little bit in alignment to potential reversal, and you already broke this low, which is something important for me, which eventually can target all the way until here. When you do have that, which kind of we already had it in here, so yeah, we may have that retracement all the way there. Nevertheless, in the bigger picture, and if you just look maybe on the daily time frame or whatever, maybe the final destination can be even the next level that we talked about. But for now, this is actually a good zone to look for opportunities. The yen index. Well, the yen index, it was one of the pairs that I was more active looking for trades since we had that meeting, the BOJ, that they didn't do anything. Basically, the yen is not doing anything either. It's just ranging. I haven't paid attention to any yen pairs for quite a while for these last 2 weeks, so not really sure. Not really sure what to expecting here. Just 1 second, guys. Lost my audio. Ah, no, I didn't. So yeah, Faded, I know that you look at the nice one, Jack. Yeah, follow the advice. Say that out loud in public. My name is. Yeah, Faden, you like to look at the yen? What's your take in there? Like the dollar yen is doing the same. Basically, it's not moving anywhere. But yeah, in here again, I still kind of like this last demand below the low that was created in there. Yeah, something in here could occur, but we are definitely within, first of all, maybe this range, and then kind of in a smaller time frame, a small range kind of in here, right? We are holding this low for quite a while, holding this size, maybe picking out this level, going into here. There's maybe some opportunity in there, and then maybe going higher after that. Maybe that's enough to create liquidity. So let's see. If we break below, we break below. At this point, I kind of haven't just following yen pairs for that much. It's funny because it's momentum, it's timings. Sometimes it's the pairs that I'm more active on, and some other times I kind of, okay, it's one of those phases where I don't like anything that's going on in there. The CAD is a little bit of the same story sometimes. I can spend 1-2 weeks fully focus on looking for trades on CAD when I see something in there and I like the momentum. Some other times I may spend 2-3 weeks just falling in a higher time frame without deeply looking into trades in there. So yeah, let's go back. Let's actually start with the main FX pairs in here, and let's go to the euro dollar. Right, euro dollar. What we have in here? We are starting to turn slowly, but we kind of starting to turn. We finally managed to break a low last Thursday after the GDP came out. But price is still reacting and respecting this high, right? So it's still kind of, it's in here. It's kind of the same as the dollar index respecting the low on the left side. It may work. It may be the level where price actually is going to respect and maybe make a good reversal. From now, I'm looking for this range to be filled eventually. At least almost everything has been compressed. Maybe there's a little bit of something in here. But yes, almost everything has been compressed in there. There's a chance that price can even go a little bit lower in there. Or at least maybe retest this value in here. Somewhere in there. That's kind of what I'm looking for on the euro minimum. Now, question mark, same thing with the dollar. Is price going to fake out this highs before the drop or not? Right, I'm looking and be paying attention to these levels. Way too many accumulation of highs in there, and we have kind of, it looks like just a fresh level just above it. That price could literally go there, collect those orders, and then finally turn. So yes, in this indecision moment, but there was actually Forex. Yeah, lots of news as well on the euro, right? I haven't really paid attention to the calendar yet. I just know that yes, FOMC on Thursday. But the news on the euro has been quite positive. At least the outlook has been kind of revised, not as negative for this year. But of course, we'll see what's going to happen. In terms of the PI itself, so we had what we have in here. Personally, I don't even like too much this low, even though kind of price were reacted to. I was looking for price maybe to go a little bit lower in here. I think this low kind of stopped in the middle of nothing, and I would have liked to see price going a little bit there. All of this is basically compressed all the way until here. Yes, we managed finally to break this low, and this actually was something that we're paying attention to during that the live trading session that we did, which was during the news, right? So interesting, and how the news actually tells a lot of the story, what it wants to do to the next. So this was the GDP when it came out. It managed to break this low, but of course, right, we had this fresh supply level in here. I don't have it marked anymore because now I'm looking a bit of the zone above it, and we had this this retail supply in there that was still fresh, right? So we had these highs and we create exactly that kind of movement that I also like to look for, right? So even if I'm not mistaken, Fred, and I think I mentioned that, right? So when price was somewhere in here, I actually mentioned that I would like to see a new low being created on the euro for price to do this, and after that, yes, I'll be happy to look for, or attempt to look for a short at the highs on the euro. This one's again way too many highs already created. Maybe that's enough liquidity in here. Yes, I was looking for price eventually to get a little bit more higher, but this was a good level. This was the first one in there. Maybe this level is left for the future. But yes, interesting how price kind of broke a low, came all the way back, but already giving indication. And this one was another one in here. You create kind of a double low in there, and price just breaks the low even before it does do the final fake out into the level in here. So this was just a nice PA overall. Yeah, it did move quite too fast. I didn't open the short on the euro. Didn't manage to get the entry, but yes, this one as well was another big clue. Breaking lows on the way up, it's something that I'm always repeating myself, and it's a great indication that maybe, yep, the sellers actually may want to turn when price gets to there. Yeah, then some of you guys still managed to catch this second one, targeting this low, looking for price to go down. Yeah, I was more focused actually than on the Aussie. Yeah, yesterday nice retracement all the way to this level, and now we are here, right? So again, question mark: are we going to continue to move down without making a final attempt to take the highs and do this, or we're just going to drop? Again, there's still something in here that I like it, that level. Maybe can go down, maybe price can take these orders, go higher, then do the fake out, and then finally now it's free to go, because kind of maybe there's still this demand zone in here that needs to be picked up. Yeah, that's kind of where we are at this point on the euro. A little bit the same story as the dollar index. Yep, it looks a little bit better, maybe, to be honest, on the euro. Maybe if you can draw some kind of trend line in here, may have broken already that trend line to the downside. You like 127. You are talking about the dollar yen. I'll go there in a bit. What about the euro? Do you have any key levels on the euro? Again, I'm still looking. I still like that level. It's been a while since we talked about it, and this is a zone, to be honest. This is the level. Question mark: are we going to have a new high or not, or we're going to just keep going down from here? It's a little bit more of what I'm looking for. The story hasn't changed, and the same thing that as I started basically the stream. So when we are in this type of compressions, yes, there are opportunities most likely to either go long, short, and yeah, a lot of opportunities can occur in here during this moment. Then if finally, maybe when we move away from here and we start that momentum, then it's a little bit different. Maybe just looking for trend continuation setups. But at this point, a lot of opportunities, either to go long, to go short, whatever you like to do. In here, just be careful, as I mentioned, be careful with trading sometimes double tops or even double bottoms, if because there's a chance of slightly being faked out and then price reverses again, and then kind of another fake out and then price reverses again, and it keeps going like that. I don't really have much to scalp. Yeah. Scalp. I'm working with a scalper now. I don't know if it's UTIAC, but yeah, the guy is crazy. Yeah, scalp. Yeah. So looking at the pound, we move on, and since we talked about so many KMs, like pound was a specialist in KMs this week. We have this one all the way until here, and we have another one from here all the way until here. So KMs after KMs after KMs. if you remember what I predicted last week, it kind of, half of it maybe kind of has occurred, right? So where did you open? 20, right? So yeah, price was here 1 week ago, and I mentioned, yes, we do have all these highs. I would like to see these highs being taken. And after that, I could still see this level in here being fresh. So in my prediction, it was kind of the buzz of it. Price went a little bit deeper into it, but it's still the same level, which is this one. And yes, I would like to see the highs being taken, and then price could drop through. It could react from the demand zone, taking these lows, and this could work maybe as an engulf to the downside. And then price could retrace, and yes, we would have this kind of quasi-model level based on these highs with the fake out, breaking of a low, and kind of using now these left shoulders in here, maybe to push price down. So kind of half of it, 75% maybe of it has occurred. Just one thing that hasn't occurred, which is exactly where we were looking for the high to react from. Yes, it took the highs, but it never really got maybe to the level that you were looking for, which is kind of another supply a little bit above it. I consider this maybe just a small fake out of the highs, but it left the zone still behind in there. So yes, there is maybe still the chance of price maybe creating a new high, maybe to go to that level, and maybe only after that we're actually going to move down, right? So basically a small adjustment from the prediction I did last week. And yes, we did break the highs, we did respect this level, and we did respect these left shoulders. However, there's still maybe one final option of, before maybe the move to downside, we actually can pick out the highs just one more time, because that level is still there, left behind. So let's see what the pound is going to do. We kind of broke this wall. Did we break it or not? Yeah, kind of. So yes, we did. There's a chance. Yesterday, price retraced all the way back here to take once again that level. Yeah, let's see what's going to happen on the pound this week. At this point, yes, we are kind of within this level. This one was really deep into it, so kind of it cleaned out the orders that were in there. There's a chance that eventually when it gets there, it can continue to go down. We even had a little bit of this retracement to take the demand from here, and we are good to go. Yeah, so let's see what's going to happen on the pound. Maybe something in here as well. Yeah, it's another one similar to the euro, similar to the dollar index. Is it going to create a new final high before the drop? That guy thinks 25 trades per hour. I think highs will break now, maybe retrace. Yeah, you think the highs, right? Yeah, that's the question mark, and let's see when that happens. Yeah, I managed to drink my coffee without being too cold today, so it's an improvement from last week. All right, so yeah, pound, it's where we are. A little bit more on the okay, they already took the highs, so it's a little bit different, and maybe can drop, but there's a chance to still go to that level. On the euro, you mentioned the 0.96 going all the way back to the below parity. Ah, no, you are looking at the highs. 0.96, something in there. Yeah, it's kind of where we are. Oh yeah, so yeah, a lot of news. Yeah, let's move on. So let's go to the Aussie. Just 1 second in here. Actually, since you're talking about the pound, Let's look at the euro pound in here. Yeah, euro pound has been kind of moving down, so it respected this level in there, and it kind of continues now. Like we broke these lows, we reacted from there. It didn't really reach the kind of the edge, the full edge of this compression, so it may continue to go down, and maybe it can even go below this this one, right? It's a nice move as well. We have kind of all these left shoulders. Price goes down, price kind of creates that fake out in there, goes down, breaks the lows, and now kind of tests this level, and it can go down. There's maybe even something else in here at the at the highs that price may wants to go there. But yeah, let's see what's going to happen in the euro pound. There's maybe a bit more room to the downside. Let's see if this is because of euro weakness or it's also related to the pound. So Aussie, right? Again, a lot of wicks and spikes here and there. It was a really nice move yesterday as well in here. This spike into this level. Yeah, it was a nice one. Yeah, so what did we look at, right? So as we talked about it, we had these highs, we had this double top. This is a level that I mentioned that I would like to see being taken, and then we navigated and we found that small supply in there, right? So we go into the war time frame, into that level, and this is what we found. Now, bigger picture, just before I go into that war time frame, bigger picture, maybe price actually wants to get closer to this level and not just react from there. So there's a chance again that it may create a new high, maybe reacting now from this level and then go down. But this is the level that we are looking for and where price is eventually reacted, right? So we had this video supply in there. None of these highs in here on the right side reacted from there, and it was a beautiful level. So that level was fresh. That's exactly where actually in reality price may have missed the level by 0.5 pips when you're looking live. But yes, it did react from there. We had all these highs being created. We created in here during in the morning, during the Thursday morning, and even a little bit in the afternoon. We had the news, price kind of take out this, and then it finally went there and it fake out the highs. Yeah. Some people may say that I need to be a little bit more aggressive to take my trades, because I did miss this short. I was looking for price to... Wait, come on. Yeah, I called it perfectly, and I did miss the short in here. I was actually looking for this high to go a little bit higher in there. So since kind of that never happened, there's maybe still an opportunity in the future for price to get closer to here and maybe drop again. So it never really occurred, and kind of the risk reward kind of got weird, and I never really took the trade. I actually just shorted afterwards somewhere in here after we had this retracement in there. So yes, Aussie had taken the highs and reacted from a really good level, and personally looking at this, in my opinion, it kind of broke into this compression zone. So I would like to see Aussie actually continue to move lower in there. I know one of our guys actually managed to catch the sell from the highs in here. I don't know if he managed to survive this retracement. I told him that there's a high probability that price could retrace all the way there. You can see all these left shoulders. You can have the fake out, down. This is another Quasimodo level. There you go, another one that is working quite nicely. But yes, for me, this is kind of breaking to this compression. So I could see Aussie continue to move down and maybe even targeting somewhere in there, or even the potential to continue to go down. But yes, eventually to go there. And yesterday we had the retracement, another Quasimodo, left shoulder, fake out, go down. And there you go, another level of structure created in the middle. Yeah, so Aussie, that's what we have. Another one that is showing kind of indication that wants to start doing this. Maybe waiting for the dollar as well to finally gain that momentum. This demand has been taken, so let's see when that's going to occur. and it's another one interesting. Actually, between the Aussie and the New Zealand, it's something actually interesting to look at, which is exactly this point in here. So we had this high, and price retraced all the way back in here, and we never managed to break this move. So I actually mentioned that, right? So be careful with looking for sells somewhere in there, because you never really managed to break this level. And there's, of course, we had all those highs on the left, so there was a high probability that eventually price could continue to go higher. But if you actually pay attention to New Zealand, look at this. It may break the high. Let's see if it does it or not. But New Zealand actually broke this wall. It's the same high, same timing of that previous high that I mentioned. It broke this wall, and at this point, New Zealand hasn't managed to break the high, right? And there's maybe the potential for price to actually maybe continue and go all the way down before maybe breaking that high. So just to see, yes, if you do break the low, yeah, breaking the high. I wanted to say break the low. Yeah, if you do break the low, there's maybe a better chance that actually price may kind of respect that previous high and maybe continue to go down. If you don't really break the low, if you respect it quite nicely, there's a high probability that we may create a new higher high, even if it's just a small fake out, and then after that you may continue to go down. Of course, it depends as well on the rest of the story and where price is reacting to and whatnot. And New Zealand at this point actually reacting from this little supply in there. Yes, I could see the scenario where actually could go a little bit higher. As you can see, we have just this one just next to it, and usually when you have kind of the extreme of a level, more often than not, yeah, price may react a little bit from the level below the extreme, but eventually the extreme is kind of where price usually is magnetic kind of towards to, and it goes there. So yeah, there's a chance that we can actually eventually fake out this level. But for now, it's a really nice little supply in there. Not so little, even on the higher time frame you can see it, but there's a chance to go a little bit higher. So again, New Zealand, yes, we may have a new high in there. Okay, so Euro, there's a high chance that the high can be respected. Nevertheless, fake out can still happen. Yeah, so yeah, I mean that. Do you ever look at retail indicators to see what masses are looking? No, that basically the retail indicators, it's looking at double tops, double bottoms, and stuff like that. Trend lines. You don't really need to go into and to use other retail indicators. When you just see trend lines, when you see double tops, triple tops, that's the most well-known kind of price action that everyone thinks that, okay, it's a strong level of resistance or support. We may think that is may changing, or maybe because the circle of traders that you spend time with and that you talk with, they kind of start looking at the same way that you do. So you think that many people are stopped or kind of changing and not looking at double tops, triple tops, and or resistance and support on that way. But maybe the traders that you are talking with, it's a really minority comparing with everyone else, and everyone else is still looking at double tops, triple tops, and the trend lines and whatnot as really important levels of Fibonacci's or whatever it may be, and therefore they still work. Sometimes we have that wrong bias, that the small circle, maybe the 20 guys that you talk with, or 5 guys, or even if it is 50 guys that you talk with, that we kind of are the majority in this circle of traders, which, or that we have all the money and we are the ones in control of everything. No, we are not. There is still plenty of people that look at triple tops, quadruple tops, and think that's a really strong level support or resistance, or whatever it may be. So yes, the Aussie potential as well to start building up to the downside. Euro Aussie, it continues to go down as well, looking to take these lows and then maybe continue a little bit more. Again, another Euro weakness currency that you can see, and that helps as well for for the euro index to continue to go down, right? So nice reaction from that level. It respected it. We have kind of now this range. So we had this range in here. Price kind of fluctuated from there. We broke the wall, reacted from something, and we are about to break these walls again, right? There's maybe even a chance, maybe do something like this, or even retrace a little bit and maybe continue to go down. Where to? It's a good question. We have kind of this double topping, double bottom in there. Let's see what's going to go to and what kind of information can gather by using this one, looking at the Aussie or at the euro. Yeah. And now the yen pairs, right? So what can you do with the yen pairs? Basically nothing. Fibonacci is overpowered and I won't hear any difference. 618 is the cheat code. Okay. Good. But try to look at the 618 and see where it's actually in alignment with. And then to look at other 618 retracements, the ones that don't work, and where it's actually in alignment with. Fed said before 127.34 for the yen. 127.34. Is he looking at this one? Looking at completed lows. Ooh, you really want the extreme. Yep, you really want this one, right? Is it what you're looking for? Ooh. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, that would be great. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure because I'm not sure if the low is going to hold. And I think we haven't even talked about before. Yeah, price is reacting from this line. Maybe there's a chance to even go a little bit lower within these walls. The idea is still to respect these walls altogether. Again, the pressure on the yen continues. Inflation, it's above 4% by now. I don't know for how long they're going to be managing to keep the bonds at 0.5. Yeah, even the IMF is already making some comments, are kind of trying to advise the Bank of Japan to change their approach. It's not going to be pretty if the inflation continues to go higher. Yeah, the governor finished his tenure in April, so maybe after that we have a change in there. Until there, we are kind of in this range. Now, the low on the yen, is it going to hold? It's not exactly the same as our index, but it's quite similar. Yeah, question mark if this low is going to hold or not. And I think I mentioned that I like a zone at the lows on the yen index. Kind of it would be a zone at the highs on the dollar yen, which is kind of this one maybe. In there, there's even a chance for price to go higher. I think we talked about these levels last week. Something in there to look for. Even the scenario price maybe going even in there. This was during the NFP. Yeah, again, we broke this low, so I could see price going a little bit lower. So that's maybe when a little bit of an engulf down, showing that price may want to go a little bit lower. But we are literally within this range. Yeah. Again, intraday, there's maybe some good opportunities on the end. I'm just not paying attention to them. Fake out this size, go there. Yeah, there's maybe still good opportunities in here. Look at liquidity, price went down, price fake out. And there, and kind of, yeah, it's something like that. Yeah. Faden, what do you think, man? What do you think of the end? Yeah. yeah, on the end, again, I haven't really, I want these walls to be taken. Maybe after that, I can start looking for wongs. I think I have to be honest as well in terms of looking for. So I think, yeah, I think I mentioned that a few weeks ago. I was literally kind of focused on the yen. I think one of the reasons is because we are in the downtrend, and anytime you were retracing, I really like to short instead of go long for some reason. And at this point, the yen kind of is in a situation where maybe short is not too much recommended. Maybe start looking a little bit for longs, and let's maybe go a little bit higher. Maybe you can look for shorts to keep pressing to downside. So yeah, but because kind of we are in a zone that we start considering looking for longs, maybe that's one of the reasons I'm not really paying attention to it, and I'm more paying attention to the Aussie, to yen, to pound, to euro, as it's kind of in a short potential short in the bigger picture. Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons as well. Unconsciously, I kind of footweight to where I can short and not where I can go long, even for big reversals. Yeah, I think that's actually one of the reasons. I don't know, I prefer to short. Maybe I'm a guy that looks to trade in favor of gravity. I have no clue. It's just something that I prefer to do. Even if you can see like any examples I'm doing is always as a short scenario. It's never as a long. So yeah, I have no clue at this point on the yen. It's going to go there. It's going to respect this level. There's maybe something in here still. There's this demand zone in there. This one maybe it's been a little bit touched in there with this one. So yeah, I don't know. I just want this wall to be taken and price to start moving. After that, the euro yen. Yeah. Again, euro yen also respected kind of that double low. It went down. It respected this level quite nicely. The extreme to another kind of Quasimodo in there initially. And then it went in even a little bit deeper into the demand zone. So kind of that one was taken. It broke the highs. Never we retraced too much in there, and price just shoot through. And we are in this range, right? So this is where we are. So let's see, kind of again another move down, maybe based on the euro, not exactly on the yen. So yeah, kind of pay attention to which one is in control at this point. Nice reaction from this level, from the extreme in here, and yeah, so nice reaction straight away as well from this demand. Maybe can actually going to break through that level since you are reacting from the extremes in here at the highs. It's another one, it's in a range, another one that most likely you can find opportunities to take advantage of. It's actually a nice little break of a low in here before kind of retracement and go down. Yeah, it's another one. Even the other yen pairs, again, range, pound yen, it's approaching this level. Let's see if you're going to fake out or not, or if you're going to just kind of go down from here. With respect to this low one more time. Yeah, we actually kind of actually, let's be honest, this one it may be an engulf upwards already, because we actually managed to break this high in here. So this kind of a little bit of a tendency maybe to go higher. I think we had broken slight with this level in there. We kind of broke this one in here. Price went all the way down, respected again this low. So yeah, it respected now this level as well. So maybe there's a tendency maybe to continue to go higher on the pound yen. Kind of these lows in here kind of reacted from that level. Yeah, let's see if we do go a little bit higher or not. If you get closer maybe to that level. Yeah, and even the Aussie yen, what's the Aussie yen doing? Yeah, Aussie yen, it's in there again. It respected this beautiful level in there. This one took literally the extreme of that level. This one went higher. This one broke slightly, I think, that high, reacted from here. Yeah, let's see what's going to happen in here. If price going to respect this level, or if price wants to go even a little bit higher in there. Yeah, there's maybe a little bit of a zone of support resistance somewhere in alignment with this level. For some reason, I have a rectangle in here. So maybe that would be the extreme for price to go there. Let's see if there's any good opportunities in here. A lot of this yen, of this Aussie yen movements have been related to the Aussie as well. Again, inflation in Australia peaked again, kind of moved higher, which can be a concern in Australia, with they kind of were slowing down the interest rates. We were one of the first ones to start reducing the hikes. Maybe they need to start be hawkish again in there. Yeah, Bank of Canada, we can actually start looking at the CAD. It rise again, is 4.5%, and most likely it's going to be a pause now until further notice. Yeah, and it finally broke this wall. So it was something that I mentioned. I would like to see these walls being taken before any major reversal that occurred. Yes, I did like this demand in here. If you actually paid attention from the level that paid and mentioned last week, and that I approved, kind of I didn't approve anything, but yeah, that he mentioned, it was exactly a level that price respected throughout our week until we actually finally had that interest rate decision on the CAD. Price spiked through, broke these highs, and then finally it moved down. So yeah, even if you follow Faden's advice on this CAD, you could have made money from this level, not just one time, but quite a few in there. And we finally broke through to the downside. Like finally, I think we have taken the low by now, or not. We are about to. In there, again, it's another one that I'm not really paying too much attention into it right at this point. CAD, a lot of compression in here, and other highs that are being respected, spikes here and there, and I could see price maybe getting closer to these walls. And situation in here is that yes, we are having maybe bigger picture, maybe we are initiating this bearish move. I do like a level in here. Actually, let me see how many pips away it is. Like 22 pips. Maybe that's enough. I was already looking for this level, even when this was kind of were created. I was looking already for price to kind of to do this. Now we have a double low, right? So because price respected this low, we have a strong double low. It is visible in many time frames. For example, on this daily time frame, it's visible in there. So let's see if you do take these lows, if price is going to react from there or not. There's maybe just a small opportunity. Doesn't mean that price is going to do this. That literally maybe it's just opportunity to go from here, maybe now to react from this level again, and then maybe resume the move to the downside, right? Maybe, or even just worst case scenario. Maybe just do this. Let's see how the approach is going to be, and if price actually is going to break these lows or not. Yeah, not sure if something in here actually is going to hold price or not. And we are in this kind of move at this point. Yep, price reacted extremely well again during the FOMC, during the NFP last beginning of the month. What a beautiful move in there. Yep. So let's see what's next on the card. Do we have anything or not? Yeah, price reacting from this level. I'm not sure if anything in here is still going to hold it. Again, as you can see, on the way up. Okay, kind of had this demand zone. Okay, kind of price first reacted. That's where price reacted to. Price actually reacted quite nicely from this level. Went a little bit up, but I think now we are breaking these walls. But as you can see, almost everything has been spiked. We are on the 5-minute time frame. Almost everything, as price was going up, it was spiking down. As price was going up, it was spiking down, and it was just making this. Yeah, maybe the last zone is maybe somewhere in there, or even something in here, because price actually went up a little bit, created this base, went higher, and it moved down, and now went up. So yes, maybe something at the lows in here. There can be some opportunity. You can even maybe use this one would catch that week. Let's just look at 1 minute time frame. Yeah, all of it looks super compressed to me personally, all the way until either this level, a little bit in alignment with this, which may have already done that, or somewhere in here. So there's maybe, this is kind of the beginning. Yeah, something in there we can maybe use actually this week in here to look for something. Just a bit of this with these demands only in here. So yeah, that's something in there. So this can be seen as well, kind of in a move up, down, up, something in there as well. So yeah, but this one is already way too close to the lows, and since you already have a double low in there, there's a chance that you can actually just get fake out altogether in here. But yes, paying attention to this level can be interesting. If you do break below this low, I think maybe by Monday we may be close to this level, because this was basically the last demand zone, which is where that low respected to. Initially respected this level, and then it respected kind of the last extreme in here. And by breaking below this, I think we can just follow through. That's my take on the card. Yeah, to go all the way until there. So let's actually see if you did break below or not. Yeah, so this is the low. We haven't really broken below the low. We are just reacting strongly in there. Yeah, so that's cut. And this is kind of, if you actually try to understand and to look for the levels, it can take time, but if you want to really, you can just do maybe a higher time frame overview to try to see if there's actually orders or not, whatever, on the bigger picture. But if you go down, if you go actually to the worst time frames in there, yeah, the reliability of what you can see from the data there, it's much stronger. And yeah, the more detail you look into it, the better off you're going to be. Now it's time consuming. It is what it is. Maybe a little bit more room to the downside, and eventually the dollar card as well, it might turn upwards when you eventually have maybe the dollar going to the upside as well. So that's something to pay attention to. Of course, the correlation may not be as strong with the dollar index, but that movement can help as well whenever that occurs. Now, dollar franc Swiss. So what we have in here on dollar franc Swiss, right? So there's another one that we've been looking for. Again, it filled the compression, it reacted from that low. Again, reacting from this low, it kind of creates kind of a double low in there. Yes, there is a chance that you can maybe slightly still go down and fake out that double low, maybe somewhere into this level in there, and for maybe the move upwards. Eventually, I would really like to eventually to take this low into this level. I think there's a little bit of spice in there, but that can be just for the future. Meanwhile, we finally managed to break through this supply level. It's respected a few times. Price just reacting from this level now within this demand zone. So we may have entered into this compression on dollar franc Swiss. So there's a chance maybe for price to go higher. Now it doesn't mean that it's going to just shoot through. Again, we may have almost all this range. There are a few levels in here. So this one was taken already during last NFP. Above this level could be interesting as well. And of course this one in here and even a little bit higher. For now, even this one in here can still hold price now to the downside. There's a chance of looking for something in here below these lows, and maybe as a continuation. We can even fake out that low out together. So it's another one. It's in a strong compression to the downside. Another one that may be waiting for the dollar to finally turn before having the momentum to go higher. Yep, it's a little bit more of the same. It looks like that all these ones are waiting for the dollar. Waiting for the dollar to finally start moving. Again, you can do a little bit more of the same exercise in here. So price reacted quite nicely from this demand zone. After that, now is this one that has been holding price upwards. So all that is basically taken. So we can start to try to look for another demand zone which may be underneath in here that may still fresh. So we have these left shoulders in here. Price went down. Something in alignment with that one or a little bit lower is a level to look for. So yeah, this was the demand. Something in here, I do kind of like that level. Even though maybe the base of it has maybe already been touched. Nope, not this one. This one. A little bit of Quasimodo in there. Of course, the extreme of the extreme. We actually have a little bit of this level as well. So yeah, let's see what's going to happen on the dollar franc Swiss. If there's any opportunity to look for multi-price actually retraces a little bit more to the downside. And at the highs in here, there's maybe something that can still be used. Another one that we're looking for, it has been gold. Gold. It's reacting from a good level. Personally, again, it's this nice level in here on the daily time frame. Again, where is the extreme? Most likely the extreme can be seen as this level in here that maybe created or initiated all this move to the downside. This is maybe a mid-level in there, maybe in alignment with some left shoulders or previous level of support resistance in here. You can see it was reacted from there. It's reacted a few times from here as well, even in here. So it's a level that has been respected in the past quite a few times around this level 1950 mark. And in here, there was actually a good level of a supply in there, right? So where actually gold end up reacting from in here, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, zone that I had just above this one. So initially it was reacting a little bit from zone underneath it. Where is reacting from? Where is reacting from here? I don't even know where gold is. I know. So the zone above is still there. It's reacting from the next one. Yeah, okay. Alright. Got it. Yeah, it's reacting from this variant here, in between these two candles. It's between this low and between this high. In here. Incredible. And yes, I do have kind of the next one above it. So yeah, so gold, nice reaction from there. Again, another one that it was creating strong compression. So anytime we created a low or a demand, price was respecting it. Price went higher one more time. It break all these highs. Again, in alignment with that, try to pay attention to the demand zone that kind of makes a decision to hold price. We have all this compression afterwards. Maybe breaking this level in here could start seeing a little bit of a move to the downside. Price still respected initially the previous high. It went higher and eventually it just dropped. Actually, I still kind of have an eye on the level at the extremes. Price, in the meantime, it respected from the supply in here that broke this low, and it completely dropped. But to respect another supply, I was looking yesterday for price to go a little bit higher in there. Price never really got there. It took slightly this high, if I'm not mistaken. and it dropped down. But what we had on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, is that we finally managed to break a low, right? So we have been respecting every single low, and it looked like it was finally gaining momentum, but nope, it just paused, reversed. Again, looks like it's gaining momentum, nope, paused, reversed, and we finally break a low, and we actually even break another low. So gold, we finally start breaking lows. If you actually have a look at the daily time frame, there's a nice target to look for, at least, which is this 1904. This actually is a great, it's a great number if you are a Benfica supporter, which is the year of our foundation. So, yep, 1904. So yeah, this one, we have all these wicks in here. Price finally started to break into them, and this could be a nice little target to look for, at least for now, on this daily time frame. There's maybe something in there at the highs, but just looking as easily as looking at this daily candle, or daily time frame, maybe targeting that level could be interesting, which is in alignment with something in here, which can actually still be fresh in there, since these lows never really touched there. So that's maybe something in there that can be used. Has been touched a few times as well, maybe. Our price then eventually can just continue down. So let's see. Again, it was another one that it was in a strong compression up, not managing to break lows, but if we finally broke those lows. Now question mark is again, is price going to feel maybe a lot of this compression? Maybe eventually could even target something in there. Of course, first pay attention to those lows in a bigger picture. Yeah, what about this high? Is this high being taken? Yeah, eventually we may go all the way until here as well. It could go, but for now, yes, maybe this level first. Yeah, bigger picture still. Again, this is a good level on the daily. There's still the chance for price to go a little bit higher, so there's still that scenario to happen. Yeah, just keep looking at those at good levels. Yeah, main point is we finally broke some lows, so we may start opening space to go further down in here. Yep, still anytime we kind of go low, there's a strong rejection, price kind of still going higher, but at least let's call it a low has been broken. Yeah, so let's see what's going to happen next. Yeah, looking for price to eventually maybe get there. Yeah, now it's in the middle of the range, so yeah, waiting for price to get to the extremes in there. Yeah, that's basically almost it. We can take a look a little bit of BTC. What a surprise! What a surprise that price took these highs. It reacted into this supply. Yeah. Yeah, BTC, it's been going higher, right? It managed to break these lows, so no break of the lows, no break into the kind of not opening space to go down. So eventually, can actually broke the highs. It's a good level in here, but there were another ones, right? So this initially where the high, the kind of the first sign here reacted from. Now we have this one in here that's actually where price is reacting now. There's maybe even something a little bit up close to this week, or you can even fake out this week altogether and go into that next level, and maybe that's going to be the final destination for BTC. If maybe price wants to go down again, we may create just this kind of compression all the way until there. Hopefully we manage to break some lows, indicating that it wants to go a little bit further down, and then maybe we can do that. Paying attention as well to this level, right? So this was an important low, high, I mean. And yeah, if price does get closer to this level, maybe this can be used as a continuation to the upside, continue the rally. Something that we can even do is, let's pretend that actually price is ready to go close to that 27k or 30k. Yes, why not? Why not first? Why not first continue to do what he's doing, kind of react a little bit from that level, go down, whatever, take the highs, right? Take these highs in here, give the signal that he wants to go higher. With this level behind, something in here, and now, yep, and now go down, kind of retest a little bit, actually gain some momentum downside, and now take all these lows that were created in here. People are going to start thinking about being bearish, but actually price is just kind of reacting now from this previous important level in here into this fresh level, and maybe Bitcoin is ready to move higher. And look at this zone in here, at this target somewhere around this 27 or 30k, retesting these previous lows in here. So that could be a nice thing to do. It would confuse quite a few people, going to be looking to be super bullish, but then price will go bearish and even manage to break these lows, which could make even more people to become bearish, just to then finally reverse and now continue to go higher. As long as this level kind of stays fresh, indeed, that could be an option. Yeah, it could be an option, and price could even kind of go a little bit down, kind of stop in the middle without really kind of reversing all the way there. There's maybe something in the overtime frame in here that could be seen, that could hold price, and yeah, why not? That could be a good scenario if, of course, price does want to, BTC wants to continue to move higher and get to those 30k level. So yeah, let's see what's going to happen in there. Yeah, for now, nice taking all these highs into something in there, nice little level. Ethereum. Yeah, Ethereum kind of, again, maybe very similar. So Ethereum has taken this, has taken the highs, kind of mentioned maybe an indication that it wants to go a little bit higher. There's maybe something in here, and of course for Ethereum, I actually prefer still that level. This highs kind of never really reacted from that level. It reacted from something on 1 minute or something like that in there, but on the bigger picture, it was kind of the zone above it that in theory should have gone there, and it didn't. So maybe that's the final destination for Ethereum. Now, how we are going to get there? We are creating all this trend line, respecting every single thing in there. We did broke this low already, so maybe that's an indication that price maybe wants to go a little bit lower before resuming the move to the upside. Again, be careful. Maybe this one can be enough. But yeah, there's maybe a chance for price to go a little bit lower, maybe before resuming the move higher. And yeah, personally, I could see, I wouldn't mind at all to see Ethereum getting closer to that level, 1,800. But yeah, maybe a little bit concerned with the 7,000, 1,720s, whatever. Yeah, that's a little bit maybe what you're looking for in here. Yeah, that's basically it. And that's it, guys. I don't really have anything else to mention. Again, I'll focus on the dollar to see if when we are finally gaining momentum in there. Are we going to break the lows or not? So yeah, maybe we're going to have more of the same until Wednesday, until we finally have the FOMC. There's going to be good news, a lot of news as well on the euro. It's going to be Bank of England as well, I think maybe Thursday. So it's a full week of news events that, yeah, we are here to try to take advantage of them. So thank you guys. Thank you for spending another 2 hours with me on a Saturday. And crazy, I'm going to get some lunch. Thank you, Jack. Thank you. Any expectations for the FOMC? I think we can talk about that on Tuesday. It's almost guaranteed the 25 basis points, right? So that's a guarantee. It's more about what the Mr. Chair Powell is going to say afterwards. Is he going to continue with the hawkish approach, or going to be a little bit more soft? The reality is that we are looking at the unemployment. The numbers they look good. NFP in the beginning of the month, it was good. The job claims, they are getting lower, so second week in a row below 200. It has been between 200 and 230. Second week in a row below that, which shows that less people asking for help, which is a good news. Maybe more people getting more jobs as well. So again, GDP came out higher than even expected as well. So good news on the in the US overall, which on one side it can help for him to say, you see guys, I'm doing the right thing, the economy is still strong, and I'll just continue to press and continue with the being hawkish, and continue to mention again, one of the things where there's a big discrepancy between what the market is looking for and what the Fed is saying is how high the interest rate is going to be. Market expecting below 4 or 5%. Fed and some of the Fed members have been talking about going above 5%, maybe 5.1 or 5.25. Again, are we going to get there or not? We'll see. One main point as well on the inflation is that, which is something that is interesting. Yes, one of the main factors is that energy, right? So the energy costs kind of going down. It was a big factor for the inflation to go down as well. But we have all the situation, especially last year, and managing to bring the inflation down while China was asleep, right? China was kind of in a lockdown situation, and China is reopening. And China reopening means more demand for oils and whatnot, and the inflation and the energy costs, they may go higher. The price of commodities may go higher as well. That's maybe one of the factors for the inflation to go up in Australia, as we saw this week again, right? So China is back, and that can cause the situation where we see and the inflation to go higher again a bit, because there's more demand now. So yeah, let's see how that's going to play out in the next few. I don't know, man. What I'm going for lunch. I definitely have no idea. I don't know if my amazing girlfriend is doing something already or not. So yeah, I don't know. I need to find out. I have no clue. Yeah. All right. So yeah, on Tuesday, depending on how we open next week and where we are, I don't know. For sure, we're going to make some predictions for the FOMC. He's having shorts. Oh well. Thank you guys. Yeah, it has been a good one. Yeah, I'm having fun doing this. All right. Have a good weekend. I will see you next Tuesday. Yeah, enjoy and relax. Thank you guys. Bye bye. Obrigado.